Now you can create new project by clicking on File, New Project. And there you can select the category as Java with Maven. Under that, Java application. Right now, this is where which is recommended to begin from here. With for Java standard edition applications, like we are dealing with SC, no? Right. Then you can provide the project name, and the versions, group ID, and the package. You can define. If not, you can just leave it. Right. Now, once you open the project, right now you will see here. This is the project. It opens. Right now, this is the package. Under the package, it opens Hello World by default. All right. Okay, now if you want to run this, you just click on the class itself and then select run file. Then you will be able to run it, and then you will be able to see the output also here itself. See, you will be able to get the output. Or you can click on this run project button in order to run it. Or you can right click on the class file itself, and then you can select run. Likewise, you will do this. Right. Now in this scenario, let's say we have given. Okay, now again, very important thing is right now when you open a class like this, let's say, when you have to now you have to write the main method, then public static void main rather typing everything. Now we are using an integrated development environment IDE in order to develop our code. Therefore, now here this environment provides many suggestions and many features, many options, and then it most of the codes can be generated, and it provides the hints. It suggests the code. Likewise, then we have to get the advantage. Now, one of the advantage here is like if you want to type public static void main, you can just type PSVM and the tab. PSVM and the tab key, then that will open public static void main in the brackets. And if you want to print system.out.println, SOUT, out, and the tab key, then you will be able to get system.out.println. Right now, very easy. Hello world. And if you want to run this, Shift plus F6, then it would run. No need to touch the mouse here, right? Okay, then that is how you could do it. And now in our given scenario, you have given an array containing some set of numbers. Let's say 1, 2. Right. I don't know this number of values I have given. I have given this. Right now, how can we do this? Right. If you want, let's say we can have even an array of you can, if you want, you can have, let's say, size 20. And we can have odd ARR of size 20. Right. Then you can have a for loop, integer objects available in AR. For objects available in array, then I can check whether if I modulus 2 equals 0, then that means it is an even number. Now, how can I add that into an array? Even AR dot. How can I add an element right now? Whether is there any way to add an element to the array? Right now, that's what we need to figure out. How can we add the element? Do we have a method to add an element to the array? Or how to do this? Now that is where you need to have the answer. What do you think? Right now, okay, now there is no method called add. Like if it is an array list, yes, we have. But now here there is no way of using a method called add. No, now that is why you can binary type that. Here you can see you get the length clone equals get a hash code notify toString wait. These are the methods for the properties we can use. Right. Therefore, now you need to use how can we add the elements. That is where we need to think. What do you think? Tell me quickly. Right now, even if you don't want to define the array like this, we could do it. But for int I arr, now here you can check whether we can have a counter even count equals 0, odd count equals 0. If I modulus 2 is equals to 0, then that is an even value, right? Then we could increase the even count by 1, else we can increase the odd count by 1. Right. Now this is to create the to get the array sizes for the even number count and the odd number count. Now we can declare the even array size as e count odd count. Then again we can do this. Right now again, how can we do this? We can reset again another variable I and j. Okay, j and k. J equals 0, k equals 0. And you can say if I is I modulus 2 equals 0, then you can have the even array Even ARR J plus plus equals I. No need of frequency. Can have what they are K plus plus I. And you can say even numbers. You can see the even array and the odd array like. Okay, can someone tell me why I have used J plus plus? Okay, here the plus post increment operator here. What if I have used the pre increment? Can anyone tell me? Okay, I'll give you another 3 minutes. Quickly finish it up. If you have any questions, ask. All right. Now I think enough time and right now let's see about how we can deal with multidimensional arrays. Any questions on this? Any questions, please? Right. Now, if you want to have two-dimensional array, then you need to have two array delimitations. Right. Now, let's say here I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. Like this. Right. Now, Now here, right now I have list the elements. Right now here the two sets. Here I have passed two sets. Now in the previously when you declare an array, that means you have one dimensional arrays. You have only one row with multiple columns. Here we have multiple rows. Right now we have multiple rows and multiple columns. Right now, therefore, in order to access the elements, right now, we need to access the elements. Now, which one is the now let's figure out. Now we have no clue. Now we know the indexes are starting from 0. Then how can we figure out what are the indexes? Like how we have the elements. Then we'll fill it out. Right. Right now, then I'm gonna have okay. So I want to display ARR 00 index. Right. I want to display 00th index. 00 index. Okay. Then we can figure out okay actually how this gonna work out. 00 index it says 1. And now we found out 00 index. Now here the index numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3. Zero, 1, 2. Right now for the 0th index, we figured out the value is 1. Right. Then let's see, figure out what is the 0, 1. 0th row, first column value. 0th row, first column value. Right now, 0th row, first column value, it says 2. 0th row, 0, 0th row, first column, 0th row, second column. 0th row, third column values. Now you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4 are the values. Then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 values. Right. Now that means here you can see I have first row the column values. Right. And the same way, let me figure out. Okay. Now this is how I have for the 0. For the 0 index, first 0th position, first position, second position, third position likewise I have. Then if I go to right now, do I have the fourth position? Let's figure it out. 0th index, fourth positions. Do I have? Then you can see after that I got an error saying array index of the bound exception. That means I don't have such a position. Right. Then first row. Do I have a value for this? Yes, first row zeroth index. It says 5. Five, and then 6, and then 7. Right. Then if I try to add, what happens? First row, third column. Now again it says index outer bound exceptions. Right now, okay, now that means here. Now how we can actually define, now if you have 5, 6, 7, 8, right, then you will have the values like for this array as well. Now you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 values you have passed. Then you can see uh, you have the values like this, 7 and 8. Right. Now this is how we have the values. Right now, then let's see. Now this is how we explicitly list values using curly brackets now. Therefore, now let's see how to do this. Now using, that means how we can declare an array of multidimensional, and thereafter how to assign values using a using how to assign the values using the indexers. Let's see. Right, and also if you want to iterate through, that means using a loop. If you want to iterate through, now rather writing this all these things, if you want to iterate, how can you do this? Using a loop, how to loop through the array values. Now this also we could do it using for I equals 0. Then we don't know the size yet. Let's say I less than arr dot length I plus plus. We can have another for loop for j equals 0, j less than arr ith index dot length plus. Then we can have array ith index value I want to display. Ith index value plus jth index value equals ARR IJ. Now you can see here, you'll be able to see array 0th index value 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Likewise, you will be able to see the values. Now this is how you iterate through using a loop. Okay, quickly try out this as well. Here, this is going to be the number of rows into columns. Right now, this array you could mention it as this. You could mention it as int ARR equals new int. Right now, this is going to be 4 number of. Now, okay, now how many rows and how many columns? Then is this going to be 4 by 2 or 2 by 4? Now that we need to figure out. Rows into columns or columns into rows. Now you can see I values right now. The length of the I values, I gonna go from 0 to 2. Therefore, number of rows 2 and number of columns 4. Therefore, here it's gonna be, remember, row count, row into columns. If it is a two-dimensional array, here it's gonna be 2 by 4. Right, declare an array. Oh, this size, I don't know. All right, let's say the value is going to be like this. I want you to create. You need to have two, okay, 1 to 10 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. And 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100. The number, the square value, and the okay, number, square value, and the, let's say cube value was 5. 8, 1, 4, 9. No, this one should be 9. What is the 6 to the power 3? 216 and 7 to the power 3. 343. 8 to the power 3. That would be 6 to 4, 5, 12. 729. Right now, I want you to create an array of this much. That means I want to have altogether 30 numbers should be stored. 30 numbers should be stored, right? The first column should contain the number, the second column should contain the square value, the third column should contain the cubic value. Quickly do it. Okay, finish. Send me the code, please. I'll give you another 2 minutes. Right. I have received the code from one of you. No, Pute. Yeah, that was so Anushka. Great. Let me run this code and show how this works. But actually, I want you to write using a loop how to get this thing done. Now, no need of annotations. We know already. Yeah. Right. Mm. Right. Let's see how this gonna show. Right. Okay. Now, I want to display this. Okay. Let's see some other code also. Chatuni has sent me. Oh, okay. The previous one. Okay. Chatuni, I want you to do this. Right. Now here we know the rows into columns now. Then we know we need to have 10 rows. Okay. Right. Now let's declare the array int arr equals new in 10 by 3. Right. Now the array size is going to be 10 by 3. We're going to have 30 elements there. New int 10 by 3. Right. Right. Now let's say in order to make this work easier, I'm going to use only one for loop. Then you could do it later on. How to handle with the right. Okay. Now I'm going to have array height index 0 is equals to I plus 1 matrix. First index value is equals to this value into this. Second value is equals to 1 into 0. Right. Or if you feel like this is too much, then you can have I plus 1 into I plus 1. I plus 1, or else you can have I plus 1 multiplied by I plus 3 times. Right. Then, okay, now we need to display this. 4 into I equals 0. Right. Then j equals 0, j less than array, I index dot length, j plus plus, j less than AR length, print This is how you get the number, square value, and the cubic value. This is how you print. And this also, if you want, you could write using a code, using a loop. Right, modify the same code, right? I want you to have the number square square root okay, number square and the cube now number square cube, right? But the values use entered values. You have to ask user to enter the numbers and then get the numbers. That should fill the first column and the rest of the value should calculate. Okay, the same thing, but the numbers should be use entered values. You have to take 10 numbers from the user and then store it. Okay, quickly edit your code and see how to do this. We quickly finish another 2 more minutes and then we're gonna go ahead. Right. Then hope you have finished that. Any questions on this? You can have three-dimensional arrays as well. Right now, this is a two-dimensional arrays. You can have three-dimensional arrays as well. Right now, if you want to declare three-dimensional array, it's gonna be you need to have another field. Like this, you can have. Right. This is how you use multi-dimensional arrays. Right. Any questions on this? If you have, please ask. No questions, right? And then we're going to talk about, now we have discussed about the arrays and enhanced for loops. Also we have done. Right. Now let's talk about the string class. Right. Now, when you talk about the string class, right now we have to talk about the rest of the data types as well. But if you talk about the string class, it says string objects are immutable objects. String objects are immutable objects. That means once you create a string object, it won't change. You can't change it, right, until the garbage collector removes it. Therefore, once create cannot change. Therefore, that's why we call it as immutable objects. Then how it happens, we will discuss. Right. Now, there are several ways that we can declare string objects. We know that right now already. If you want, let's say, we declare string name equals John. Right. Now, this is the one way of doing it. Okay, let's say string x equals John. Or like we can have string y equals new string John. Or string z equals x. Likewise, you could declare string objects, or else right now here also if you want you can create new string. Right, you could create a string object here, and then here you can initialize that into John. Here right now here you declare a variable. Right. You can create a reference variable of string X. You can create a reference variable and assign John. You could create a new reference variable Z and refer to a new empty string object. And you can create a reference variable called Y and assign it to the string object John. Like these are several ways of doing it. Right. Now all these methods will create a string variable or string object. Right. Now let's say you can have X equals John, Y equals to Z equals X. Now you can make right. Now this is how you print the string values. Now you can see here when you print X, Y, Z, X will print John and Y will print do, and Z will also refer to what string X refers to. Then that also will print John. Now tell me string X equals John, Y equals X, and X equals Jane Smith. Right. If I print X and Y values, what would it display? What would be the output? Okay, try out and tell me. What is the output? Tell me, what is the output? When you print X and when you print Y, what it display? Shatuni, what it display?
Jane Smith and John.
Ranushka, what? X represent what?
Jane Smith and John.
Y represent John. Why is it? Now the reason behind is when you say X refers to John, let's say now this is the memory. Now here it creates a variable.
Second update.
Right now it creates a object, string object here in the memory which contain John. Mind about my right now X refers to John now. Then when you say y is equals to x, now reference variable y also start referring to what x is referring. No. And thereafter when you say x equals Jane Smith, now another object going to create it called Jane and Smith, whatever, right? It's going to create a new object and the previous reference from x to John removed and new reference will added. A new reference will get added to the variable x to Jane Smith. The previous reference from x to John removed and new reference will be added to Jane Smith. Now that's why x refers to Jane Smith and y still refers to John. Right. Now that is what you call as the behavior of the string objects. Right. Now let me show you this. Right. When you create string s equals abc in the heap memory, the variable s refers to a string object abc. And in a little while, if you say s2 is equals s, now that means a new reference variable s2 now also referring to same object abc. Right. Now if you say s equals s dot concat def, that means you append def to the abc value. Therefore, what happens is it's going to create a new object called abcdef, a new string object, and the previous reference removed from the abc object and the reference updated to the new object. Now still s2 objects refers to abc and s refers to abcdef. Right. What would be the output? Can you tell me? Is it Java rules? Yeah, what is the output? Anushka?
X equals Java.
Represent Java. Why is it? Why it prints Java? Again, we need to understand that. Okay, now when you say X in the memory, it refers to a Java object. And when you say X dot concat, it's going to create a new variable, new object called Java rules. But the reference is not updated. In the memory, it creates a new object called Java rules, but the reference not get updated. When you print X value, now X refers to Java, therefore it will print Java. By any chance, if you had X equals X dot concat, then this get removed and reference will get updated to Java. So in that case, it will display Java rules. Since it was not there, the Java rules, the newly created object with no reference, right? So this is what happens actually when you say X equals Java, reference variable X refer to string object Java. When you say X dot concat rules, a new string object created Java rules, but no reference created. There were no reference created to the Java rules object. Right. Now, looking at this, tell me what would be the output? Right, what is the output now? Shatini said Java. Right, now string x equals Java, x dot concat rules. Then, yes, it prints just Java. And then x dot 2 uppercase, it now here, it will create a new object called capital JAVA, but no reference updated. And then x dot replace A with x, JXVX, but no reference updated. That was still it would print Java. Yes, exactly, it would print Java. Now this case, what it would display now? What this would display?
X
X
equals
equals Java rules.
X equals Java rules. Yes, because the reference get updated. Yes, exactly. Correct. Now X equals Java. Previously, when you say X equals X dot concat rules, then new object get created and the reference also get updated. Now that's why it prints Java rules. Right. Now that you know already. Okay, here, without typing anything, without writing the code, just look at this and tell me what would be the output. And thereafter, once you get the answer, you can type it and see. Yeah, what is the output? Spring, winter, spring, summer. We'll see. Now, what is the reference it's gonna get? S1 is referring to spring, and S1 is referring to string, right? And then S2 is referring to what S1 refer plus summer. Therefore, it will create a new one. Spring summer. And S1 dot concat 4. Now new object get created. S1 dot spring 4. But no reference updated. S2 dot concat S1. New object can create. S2 is referring to spring summer. And S2 dot concat S1. S1 is referring to spring, summer, spring. And S1 equals S1 plus winter. Now S1 equals S1 plus winter. New object can be created. Spring, winter, and then reference should get updated. Not to spring now, spring, winter. And you're gonna print S1 and S2. S1 will print spring, winter. S2 spring, summer, spring, winter, spring, summer, spring, winter, spring, summer. Yes, that's the output you're gonna get. Great. Okay, good. Everyone understood? Right. Then we are going to the next right now. Here, remember why we call Java. Sorry, in Java, string objects are immutable. Remember, in Java, right, string objects have a special Java has a special area called string constant pool. Right. Therefore, now if you create now for an example in your code, let's say we're gonna write string x a equals string a equals abc, and later on you again write string b also equals abc, and again if you write string x also equals abc. Right now in your code you're going to create abc objects right now several times, but actually what happens is what you need to know. Now your variable a, now it can create variable reference variable a, reference variable b, reference variable c. When you say a equals abc, reference variable a refers to the object abc from the your heap member, from the heap member. When b also abc, when you say right now, this is what you call as the string constant pool. Now the compiler now check whether the ABC object exists in the constant pool. Since the ABC object exists in the constant pool, rather creating a new one, reference B also add into the same object ABC. Again, in a little while, X also equals ABC. Again, the compiler checks whether is there any object called ABC available in the constant pool. If it is available, then X also will not create a new object that also will refer to the same object ABC. Now this is how it's gonna work out. Therefore remember, now JVM reserves a special area called string constant pool, and when the compiler encounters string literal, it checks the pool to see whether it exists. If it is found, the literal reference to the new address from the existing chain, then the existing chain will have an additional reference. Therefore, the values cannot be changed. That's why the values cannot be changed. Right? Therefore, string class also marked as final. Therefore, you cannot override the behavior of the string objects and the string methods. Therefore, whatever the objects you are counting will be immutable because class set as final cannot change anything. Once create, cannot change. If you are changing it, if you create a new object, therefore you can say string objects are immutable objects. Right. Right now we're going to talk about the string methods. Right now, try out string object, string variable dot length, and what's going to happen. And you know chart already. And try out how the compare to method works and the index of works, last index of how these works. Try out quickly. see what are the methods available here. Right now, okay, when you have a string variable, right now if you want to get the length, you can get x dot the length. If you want to get now the specific index, we already taken chart. That's the 0th index value. If you want to compare two objects, let's say now y also John z equals x. X dot compare x dot compare to y and x dot compare to z. And index of x dot index of let's say O. Right. Let's say I'm gonna have Java. Index of and the last index of. Last index of. You can set it as a char value or you can pass it as a string value. Right. Okay. Now you can see when you write the length 4, JAV A4, char at first index, capital J. When you compare, when you make the compare x dot compare to y, you get 0. And when I say x dot compare to z, I got minus 46. Now what is it? We'll figure out. And when I try to figure out 0, 0 is not available, then I'm going to use A. Right now, the first index occurrence it will show you when I say index of A. First 0 is J, first index is A, second index V, third index is, last index is the of A. Right now, what is this compare to method does? Compare to, now it compares two strings lexicographically. The comparison is based on the Unicode value of each character in the string. The character sequence represented by the string object is compared lexicographically to the character sequence represented by the argument string. The result is negative integer if the string object lexicographically precedes the argument string. The result is a positive string if this follows the argument string. Right. It returns 0 exactly when the equal method should return true. Right. Right. Now, okay, we'll see. Y also has Java. Then this gives you Okay, Z equals a different value, no X. Yeah, that's why it gives you minus 46. Now, if it is X variable, yes, then that would return 0. Right now, it will return 0. Now, if you have AB, AB and CD, EF. Likewise, now you can see there should be an error. Here now the comparative methods are how it works. Right now you can see here minus 2, minus 4. The values, the total values. You can see A, B, C, D, and here. Right now if you have CD here, and if I have AB and EF, and you will be able to see a positive value and a negative value. The first one would gives you a positive value, plus 2, and the second one would give you a negative value. And if the both are the same, it would give you 0. Right now, index of, and thereafter we could use equals method, and let's say this also AB, x dot equals y. Now this would return true if the both objects are referring to the same reference. If both are referring to the same reference, it would return true. Now here in string that is written in true because you know that due to the string constant pool, it won't create a new object if the same object is existing right now. But if it is a different value, like let's say integer equals 10 and integer b also equals 10. Right now, then if I refer a dot t equals b, now that would return false. If I say a dot equals b, that would return false. Again, cannot be dereferenced. Right, then we can't do this. So yes. Right. That is only because you know that if since AB object is already available, why won't create a new one? Why you also refer to the same? Now V equals method is checking whether both are referring to the same object. If the both have the same reference, then only it returns true. And if you have AB and capital AB, now the equals method will return false because two objects are different and two objects are different, therefore it would return false. If you have such a scenario, if you don't mind about the case, but if you just only worry about the value, then you can go with the equals ignore case. If you go with the equals ignore case, then equals ignore case. What? Boolean cannot be converted to an integer. Right. Now this would return true, false and true. Now the first one return false. Why? AB, simple AB and capital AB are two different objects. Therefore, since the equals method check whether the same reference, since it is false, it returns false. But in the second one, it says equals ignore case. Therefore, that would return true. Likewise, you have many methods available with the string. Like now you can see compare to, ignore case, concat. No, we haven't done concat. Now x dot concat, we can say cd, x dot concat cd, and then if you print x, now still that would print ab, because it will create a new object called abcd, but that won't get updated. Therefore, that would print just ab. But now if you say x equals x dot concat, then that would get updated. And then just quickly figure out what's the purpose of this trim method, and trim, and then the replace. Quickly figure out how these what happens with the trim method and what happens with the replace method. We have contains method. What is the contains method? What happens with the contains method? X dot ends with equals. We have done this. Index of we have used. Last index of also we have used, and replace I have asked you to do it. Split, X dot split. How the split method works. Substring, how the substring works. Next dot two lowercase, two uppercase, how it works. Now figure out how this works. Lowercase, uppercase, trim, I ask you to do it. Wait, yeah, that's it. Okay, quickly figure out these, because these are the things we may use right time to time. Okay, quickly find out how these works. Okay, now let's see how to use the trim method. Now, can anyone tell me what happens with the trim method? Let's say now I'm going to have some white spaces here and the end. Right. Now, initially, I'm going to call the length, and thereafter, I'm going to call the trim method, x dot trim, x equals x dot trim. And again, I'm going to put the print the x variable length. Right now, from that, we could figure it out. Okay, now let's find out. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, A space 1, 2, B, 1, 2. Sorry, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is how I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. Now let's say when you run it, at the beginning it gives you the space size is 8 and the length is 8. Altogether here it's 8. And then after the trimming, it says for that means the white spaces, like now if you refer to the trim method, right now you can see returns a return a string whose value is the string with any leading and trailing white spaces removed. Therefore, trim method will remove whatever the white spaces at the beginning and at the end. Therefore, if there is any white spaces at the beginning or at the end, that can be removed using the trim method. And thereafter, if you want to convert it into a uppercase value, so okay, if you want to check whether the x contains whether the x contains a, right now x dot contains. If I want to check whether the x contains a, then if it is yes, it will return true. If it contains a, say it says return true. Like now, let's say now here I have Java. Right now, if I want to check whether it contains VA, then it will return true because it's contains VA. And then you can see here it gives you yes true. Right now, if I want to split it, I know how can I split that? X equals x dot split. Now split this string around matches of the given regular expression. Right now, if you want to if you know the regex, then you could try out how the split method works. Right now, leave it for a while. Then at the end, we will do this split method, and let's see how to do the substring. Right now, x dot substring. Right now, if I want to begin index from 1, now I'm gonna say begin index equals 1, right? And then I'm gonna print what the x equals. Right now, then it will create a substring from right. You can say it will create a substring from ABA from the first character, first index onwards. Right now, if you want to see how the split method also works. Now, some lowercase and okay, we'll do the lowercase and uppercase also. Right now, then if you want to now, if there is a method in the substring, you can have start character and the last end character as well, begin and the end as well. Now, if you use that also, then AV only it will have. Only A, starting from A first index up to second index. Second index is not included. If you want to have AV, then you have to mention it as 3. Then only it will give you one first index to third index values taken as a substring. See, AV. Right, then if you want to figure out, let's say I'm going to have Java at test, Java at test, and I have a Java at test, and if I want to have let's say, okay, for the string array, Java at test, right, we'll have a string array. The string array, we'll have a string array equals x dot split. Now that's sign. So you can say it's gonna split using Java and test based on the at sign. Java test at hello.com. Likewise, let's say we have something, then you will see how it's gonna split. Java test and hello.com in one, because like now there is no at sign. That's how the at works. You can here, I think, mention the number of values you want. Limit to Java test hello at. Right now, if you limit it up to 2, then it will split only first 2, I guess. Let's see. I have not used yes, Java and the test. You can see here, because it will limit only this number of values. Right now here in the split method, you can pass 2 lowercase and 2 uppercase, you know already. Right now my question is this. Quickly I want you to do is, right, okay, let me show you that as well. If it is JAVA, like if I have something like this, and if I want to convert it to 2 lowercase, then I can say x dot 2 lowercase, and if I want to print it, if I want to print in the uppercase, then you could use it to uppercase. Right now, this is how you use the string methods. Right. let's say now this is how it's going to work out. Java simple capital. Right now, let's assume you are a student number. Right now, we have our student numbers, and then I entered it. You have to get the student number, and then it's very difficult. Like now, let's say we have IT slash Java IT space. Okay, let's say Java space Java. It should be Java 23 21520. Right now, this is how it should be formatted, like Java 23 1526 and 12. Right now, this is how, like now normally when you ask user to enter the ID number, let's say that this is how the user enters. Right now, therefore, this is not what I want. I want user to enter. Right now, let's say Java 2023 batch 47. Let's say 0047 and registered as 12 student. Right now, you have to ask user to enter the ID number. Then user might enter something like this or whatever the format. It doesn't matter. But whatever user has entered, I want you to convert it into this format and display it. Okay, write a code to convert the given value into this. This is the input code. This is the formatted code. I want you to write a Java code to do this. Okay, quickly do it. I'll give you around 5 to 10 minutes time for you to do this. Quickly try out. And any questions, please ask. Right. Now you can see this is how you're going to get the out. Right. Did any of you got the answer? Or is there any other way you did it? Raveen? Right. Okay. Now that is how we deal with the string class. And then, yes, this is how we deal with the string class. We discuss about those. Right. Please practice about the string methods, the string array. We have done it, the string array, and then the values. Just go ahead and practice. We did discuss about child, concat equals ignore case, length, replace, substring, lowercase, toString, uppercase string. We have discussed the methods, right? Therefore, please practice these at home. And any questions you could ask. Any questions if you have, please ask now. Because I'm planning to start with the methods and the classes, methods, objects, and thereafter I thought of starting with the classes, objects, methods. Once I finish that, I'm gonna go ahead with the now we have done with the method overloading, method overriding, and then I'm gonna talk about the object-oriented concepts. Right, next week most probably classes, methods, objects, and if you have time, overloading, overriding, we're gonna talk. Any questions up to now? If you have, please ask. Okay, I forgot to get the attendance, so let me take the attendance. Right. Okay, thank you. Any questions you can ask, otherwise we can wind up for today. Any questions? No questions. Okay, then we'll wind up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.